I think this is a match we should be putting goals past, Oviedo. And this is this being a preview to the Real Madrid versus Oviedo match. You know, I could give a prediction for a scoreline, but I think all I'm gonna say is I think we should be putting goals past this team. This is a newly promoted side in the in La Liga. Although we're going to be playing at their home, we're still Real Madrid. We have the quality of players to blow past this team, and I think what we have to start looking at as Real Madrid fans is how would Barcelona play? What scoreline would Barcelona get against a team like this? Are Barcelona gonna get a 1-0, win or 2-0 win, or are they gonna blow past Oviedo? Are they gonna, absolutely batter them? Are they gonna win this game beyond all doubt without giving them any sort of hope? And I think that's what we need to do in this match against Oviedo. I think we need to see some changes in the lineup. Personally, I will start Mastantuano over Vinicius. I think Alonso is still going to be playing with that, two center attacking midfielders. Although we might be playing a 4-3-3, on the start, and I think in transition when we are attacking the opposition, we will be switching to that two attacking midfielders behind the striker. I think Mastantuano over Vinicius in this match would be really, really nice to see what he can actually do, to see if he could potentially bench Vinicius Junior. I think playing Vinicius Junior in this match is going to be irrelevant because he might perform well. That's my problem with Vinicius. These are the type of matches where he can come in, score a brace, get some assists, and people are going to be like, oh, he's back. And then we get paired up against a really good team and he goes back to the basics. So I think this is a match where we can start a player like Mastantuano and, really see what he can actually do, in a team where we do need some changes. We do need some changes in that regard. So personally, I would start Mastantuano. I wanted to go for Gonzalo Garcia at strike over Mbappe, but I do think that might be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Taking it not seriously. I think maybe you can bring Mbappe in, we can get some goals in the first half, and then, in the second half, we can bring in Garcia very early so he does get some game time and some minutes in his legs. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to starting Garcia in this game if, we can get a good team around them. But my main focus for this match is goals. We need to score a lot of goals. I think we need to start making teams wary of us. Like most teams in La Liga now, when they come up against Barcelona, they are wary of conceding a lot of goals because Barcelona are scoring a lot of goals. They're scoring a lot of goals. A really, really stupid amount of goals Barcelona are scoring. So most teams that come up against them are not even like trying to defend most of the time. Most teams coming up against Barcelona are either trying to outscore them or just trying to limit the number of goals that they concede because they know they're going to concede goals regardless of what you do against Barcelona. And I think we need to start making teams have that about us because we have a really good attack line. I mean, Mbappe, we have Vinicius, Bellingham is coming in, Güler is coming in. I mean, we added Mastantuano, Gonzalo Garcia looks good. We have a good attack line, a good, front line to actually put goals in the back of the net. We just need to get that chemistry working, and we need to, consistently keep putting balls in the back of the net. So for me, my focus is just scoring goals, and I want to see players like Vinicius getting benched, not because I don't want him to play, but because I think a player of his quality would perform well in a match like this, if you get where I'm coming from. A player of Vinicius quality against, the defenders of Oviedo, again, newly promoted side, it's going to be easy pickings for Vinicius Junior. And I don't want that, he's back, he's, getting goals, getting assists, and people are going to be like, he's back. And then, we go up in a match where we think he's going to get that performance in and he's back to basics like what we saw in the first game. So I really do want to see a Mastantuano start in this game. I would be really, really happy if I do see a Mastantuano start in this game, and I wouldn't mind a Garcia. I think in terms of the lineup, don't really have too much changes to bring. Maybe, Carvajal in that back four, comes in for Trent, just to get some minutes in. He is coming back from his ACL injury, so maybe just to get some minutes into an important player like Dani Carvajal wouldn't be bad as well. Getting him to play. I think Trent, I don't know if he's injured. I'm trying to think. I don't think he's injured. I think I did see an article about that, but I'm not sure he's injured. But yeah, getting Dani Carvajal in a team like that, in a match like this, would be good. Raul Asensio, I think, from what I've seen so far, I don't know if Xabi Alonso is necessarily convinced with Raul Asensio, especially in that PSG match. He didn't do himself any favors. Himself and Rudiger, they didn't do themselves any favors making those mistakes. So I'm not necessarily sure Alonso is the biggest fan of Raul Asensio when it comes to defending. So I don't know if he's gonna start this game, but it wouldn't be bad. Asensio and Houghton starting in this game wouldn't also be bad. But I think Carvajal starting would be okay. Houghton, Militao, maybe left back we could see Fran Garcia coming in. He played really well in our last Club World Cup game. I think it was against PSG. Yes, our last Club World Cup game. Fran Garcia was really good. So if we could see him in the team again, that would be also fine. I wouldn't be opposed to Carreras as well, and Garcia coming from the bench. In terms of midfield, I think Camavinga is injured. Would have loved to see him in this game, but I think it will be Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Goulet. That wouldn't be a bad midfield three. And then up top, Diaz, I think, at the right, since Rodrigo isn't playing. I don't think Rodrigo is part of Alonso's plan. So Diaz on the right, Garcia could start. Wouldn't be opposed to Garcia starting, but I think maybe to kill the game off, Alonso might start Mbappe and then bring Garcia in later on. So yeah, Garcia to start wouldn't be bad, but I think it's going to be Diaz, Mbappe, and then Mastantuano. I'm thinking he's going to start Vinicius because maybe he wants to get a really big, convincing win against Oviedo. So he want to go gung-ho, get a lot of goals in. But I would really like for Mastantuano to start. I don't want Mastantuano to come into the game when we've already won it, because he's not really going to put in that extra effort of a starter, or people are not going to be paying attention to this game as compared to if he was to start the game and get the goals. So I would really like to see Mastantuano starting in this game against Oviedo, and maybe Vinicius coming in from the bench. Again, this is not me saying Vinicius should be dropped because of his first game in the season against a really defensive team in Osasuna. I'm just trying to say I want to see something different. We've gone, I think, a few seasons where we've not really had players that could really push from the bench, push the first team for spots. I think we thought that was going to be the case with Camavinga. Injuries have really affected him. And same thing with Endrick when he was coming in. We really thought Endrick was going to be, pushing Mbappe. But Mbappe is so big, and he started, scoring a lot of goals, and it made stuff difficult for Endrick. And we had a really difficult season. So it was really difficult to bring Endrick in to the game. But I think now we have some players of real quality on the bench. Gonzalo Garcia, Mastantuano, Fran Garcia, Dani Carvajal, all these type of, good players on the bench. So I think, it would be good to see some competition for places. I wouldn't mind seeing if Gonzalo Garcia is going to be putting balls in the back of the net and make us a more effective team as compared to Mbappe, bench Mbappe. If Vinicius is not going to be effective as a left winger, and Mbappe can be effective as a left winger, bench Vinicius, play Mbappe on the left, play Gonzalo Garcia at a strike. That's what I want to see. I want to see a team where the manager is playing the players that can get him results, not playing the players that have the status or the PR in the team. I want to see a team that's going to be put on the field that is going to get results. Because at the end of the day, it's results that's going to matter. So I'm really expecting some changes. Because honestly speaking, Vinicius Junior against Osasuna, very horrible. So expecting Mastantuano to start. Not sure he's gonna start, but I would be really happy if he could start in the game, because I think he could be something really special. And yeah, we could get. I'm expecting a big result again. A lot of goals. I'm saying 5-0. 5-0 is a stretch because our defense does get a little bit shaky sometimes. But I'm expecting 5-0 because Barcelona are cooking. I want to be on that level. I want to be on the level where teams are looking at Real Madrid and saying, okay, this team is going to put a lot of goals past us. We need to defend well, because I feel last season a lot of teams came up to us and they were like, we could push them, we could, get something against them. And it wasn't the same with Barcelona. I mean, apart from Inter, I think Inter were the only team that went toe to toe with Barcelona last season, and they were kind of looking to score as much goals as Barcelona did, and they did well. They got past them and went on to the finals and lost horribly to PSG. But yeah, I'm hoping to see us start putting balls in the back of the net. We have a lot of good players. I mean, we can't be having a front line of Mbappe and the rest of the players and not be putting balls in the back of the net. It doesn't matter if a team is parking the bus. If you watch the match against Barcelona against Mallorca were parking the bus defensively, but you could see Lamine Yamal creating chances, Rafinha scoring goals. That's what I want to see. That's why I want Mastantuano to start, because I think with Vinicius, he is going to try and redeem himself from the Osasuna match, and he's going to try and be selfish, dribble around, try and create the chances for himself, and then we might end up, winning the game 2-0, 3-0, maybe a Vinicius goal and gets like 2 assists, and everyone's just going to be like he's back. So my main, point of this preview is I want Mastantuano to start. I want something different in the attack line. I want to see someone push for Vinicius spots in the team. Competition for places is really important, because it makes players that are not performing, it makes them perform well. We could see a better version of Vinicius if he's actually, concerned for his spots in the team. So yeah, that's my preview for the Madrid Oviedo game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And yeah, there will be a match reaction for that game when we finish playing.